Thank you for watching Lyra Scoop. We are glad you are here.
Anangaying Menyer Moses. I bet one come and I run many in a sub county. Me in a sub county, but a sub county, Chelame to Oyam district, to Oyam South. I've been in Yimukani, Yom attack, Merwata Kedutin, Chomut, Roma Papat, Mary station, a Papat, Rameti, Lao, Kedenokana, TV station, a Papat. Memi, you Unge, you Karashel, Memi, you Lan or Runge. More team election na more caron. Election na more caron one yemiene yiwa pe yomi ya tek tutwal. Yen president karikwe bajo tia lelo. Ni unu kwiri rwa mamalo nu ngame karo kanoko. Chome moga chela rio. O timere ya me pe yomo yiwa. Obedu ke the group amo luni ONC. I'm a better office of the national chairman. I'm a new tia tello. Program president copy com chente memir pokpi agents ama nuti ko pira president ka beru ati la poler waka yu yam ka rachel kede yimiene jamma moti ye po beru jamma bash a chelli ye jone po bino mi gi chem mogo ta yawe ko polling station so ko memir gi no kor kui te bini ro mamalo ario ye o berni peko chologi chenta memir chologi kede numero chol ngara chel ka du chela titidi welme tutumia Pierre Beach ete yimiene sub county kede Oyam district kano kena mo rumo omiyo gi ka tutumia Pierre rio jo keno miyo gi chilling tutumia pa pemono ke ken jo amonu te handling chente ni officer ONC unuti daka mo te luni madam Sandra mo be district coordinator me ONC ngata mo nu da te handling ame yimiene unuoni opodo Robert. So, John Mio, queer, mo bino ni carbet back queerwa, po beda bear, Kohawati Comgini, Miena Loro Carchel, Oyam district. Keda Ila Loro, Kuome Chente, officer president, who better doing to 12 jam or qualu chente. As I talk, Miena tiu chora to ni chenta make out ruenya, a more quala no mir cholke the jaw, the officer ONC, 10 million a bero, Laka Wen Carchel, the Wiramatic, the document American. I take the video, my more coro station, polling stations. I may pedang chologi, I may yigi pay yom, I may no mir, gino bed carachel kedore, anti bullita ya mali Oyam district, and nanoni, kid cody Taylor, American no teach on. I'm not going to qualo kedi jaw. I may quit pebina bear, bullimo Oyam districts, or ya malu, Tori buchingi carachel kedi one chairperson. I'm on nanoni party miru chung attack, party miru dong, yen party did law wow. Ya nyima di machani jo amemiro gergi mi do ger jo kenati nungi for the corruption no kokipe o mi wan ya malo me ko ni Oyam district carchel ke la sabe jo la loro mi to jwayo kit for the corruption neni utela mo kwalo chente ni mi ko mak ko to gam cheno to cholo jo ken pincha kape o mako nuni security officers no tiye agents ma president o go chi mukubere ke officer ONC te kom ni gin coordinators gi amonu te coordinating ping tida chayo dia cha amomi gino reporting case ni officer RDC officer security mo yam but petty action or tiko kwani ete anado ya e grassroots ping ke document ke jo ame ko kwalogi metam ni copy one forwarding ni karachel ke bulli mo Oyam district. Nima kana tikeri document na maro mnyutu iben copy mero kena ramwe aluni copy meren kai ni neno cho borara disi uto poko copies meren kana me copies mera woriene
jadi ami cholin data
yo me mi cholin total le yimi eno tikede polling station Pierre Beach times 2 that is 75 mi riwati ni jonno mi ne ko cholo kape ko cholo te ko pe ni mi mark jo ken jo amotiu ka chel ke chen chabe gin ngok chente no ken chen no pe meg Sandra and I were signing chente officer president tekele Oyam ka chente potia be te ko pe ni wan mi penyen ke jo eno tiu ke kapo makogi wano Oyam district ya ka chel ke dore manguri no security ticket ngechi enu mi gi pokwanya bali yora me jo ken no ya ko polling station te worko amenu mir kwir bini numbers amemir timo naka declaration result jo ken poter because me gunu education ne ko ko ta ya and then team affecting kuna me tio mako ngara shell amonu ber presiding officer mo ya tegwet kwir kun ya from nowhere kano keliye wana no ponya to kelo kana to mako ti kasto the police kunu mo yam DPCN warom.
My name is Oyam, the General Secretary, Youth Council, Oyam. I'm here to speak the voice of the youth in Oyam, that as per the election, as you know, it has been going on. We as youth, we have also encountered some of the challenges, of which as youth we never expected. As you know, youth has been the spearhead of when it comes to mobilization during election time, where we very well know that we had for presidency, then we came back to for our MPs. But as youth, we haven't been so happy because many youths labored, many youths sacrificed their time. They were recruited, as you have heard here, the ONC, the way it was supposed to work. In Oyam, it hasn't been so good. Many youths were labored. They sacrificed themselves. Most of them, they were in the post of presidential agency. We had also the Paris coordinators, and some at the sub-county, but I want to bring to you that many of these youths were used and later on they failed to get the reward or what they were supposed to get after this program. And this has hindered us so much, of which as Oyam as old, we are speaking the voice and saying if there is any action that has to be taken, this has to be a very effective action that has to go on as immediate. Because, for example, me, I've been a coordinator in one of the parish. But remember, you involving someone in the activity that has to be paid after, then after, you don't avail yourself as in paying back. You know how the youth react. So this has been so challenging, and it has brought so many crises where all the youth in Oyam, they are crying because, for example, we have other places that we were supposed to be, at the youth at the polling stations, we were supposed to be given 100,000 as it was stated. But later on, after their job, many youths were paid less money. Some were given 10,000. Now you imagine if you were promised 100,000, then they reduce it to 10,000. How a youth like me, I would feel. So it has been so embarrassing. Others, they ended up not even receiving it at any point. So we were requesting. This has been the weakness that shows that some leaders in Oyam district, and more so the party leaders, and that is our mighty parties that we know, they take the lead and is the ruling party, NRM. But it is the party that instead is turning against the youth of Oyam. And this call for a serious action, because as youth we know we are the future of tomorrow, but also we are future of today. So if we deserve what we have worked for, then why is it that it is not being rendered to us? So we are really requesting, we are really calling upon the authority that is concerned to come in and take action. This has really deteriorated the program that was supposed to run. However much it was on the presidential election, but this one, it also affected when it came for our MPs, because now you realize everyone is on their mood of not doing anything, and of which it's not what we expected. And a big number of votes come from youth. But now if the youth are being shutted down, they are being denied the opportunities, fine, you are given the opportunity, but then later on, you are denied the chance of what you are supposed to get as a reward, as a package. But we also have to gain, and we know we are also catered for at some point. So as the youth of Oyam, on behalf of the youth of Oyam, this is a crisis for all over Oyam. And remember, Oyam, in the whole country, we are known as being the second largest district. But now if all this is happening, and remember, most of the youth, I think this time around we also came in as, due to our struggle and the persistence that we did as the future leaders of tomorrow, of which we started today, we managed to come as NRM all. Now, if we all came as NRM, at certain point I see as we need to be treated in a very special way, and in a kind of manner that we also feel it and say, at least as youth of Oyam, we also looked after, and we still have that belief that in future we also come to be somewhere else. So we are requesting as the high authority, they should come in, they should really open our eyes, they should really make us know where do we have to rely, as in when it comes to this challenge that is already affecting us so serious and discouraging us from running very many programs that has to come targeting youth. I can assure you it is very hard for me to go down, mobilize youth that I know their money got lost somewhere. Of course, I have to go back to them, remobilize them, and remember the party will demand me, or the government of Oyam will demand me go remobilize them on other occasions. But how will I get to them? And you know a youth, when it comes to reactions, will react to the point that I may just disappear from their face. But that's not our will. That's not our thinking. That's not what we believe it has to happen, as in the youth of tomorrow. I think basically that is the area that I'd wanted to add on. Thank you so much. For Oyam, I have to make it very clearly to you. We have been left out in very many packages that come targeting youth that would help us run the program very well. For example, we got discouraged. First and foremost when it came to election for special interest group. Remember, as party, they are always fund for what? For running mobilization as youth or the flag bearer. Remember, in the first place, we all missed this, and this election ended. Remember, this program again came in, and we were supposed to what? To also engage ourselves as youth. So you remember all these things, when we bring them together, it deteriorates. It brings that bad thinking where youth will realize that even if I go, there is nothing I will gain, in other words. And this affected very many clips of youth. Remember, youth have been called overwork, but this overwork, these are youth, when we go to talk to them, they understand on our basics that they know they will get something after. But going back to our leaders, at the end of the work, you get nothing. You are told we don't have package for you. That was done. So now, what do you expect me as the youth leader to go and what? Give back the feedback or reply them?
I want to first of all begin by thanking Almighty God, who has given us the gift of life. And I also want to appreciate the entire media houses who really managed to endeavor and reach here at the point that we needed them as a team representing the young people of Oyam. I'm by the names Maxwell Edwok. I'm the district chairperson representing the young people of Oyam district. I'm not only the chairperson of the particular party. I'm the chairperson representing all the young people of Oyam. Whether you're independent, whether you're in which party, I'm your chairperson. Today, as a chairperson, as young people of Oyam district, in my capacity, I looked all around and I thought of it twice, that it is very good also to handle some other matters within the district of Oyam, also using the channel that we have chosen today as young people, and of which is the media houses. I want to first of all even thank our President of the Republic of Uganda, and I want to congratulate him upon winning this election 2026 massively. As the chairperson of Oyam, I've been receiving so many information regarding my district, and today I chose to come to the media houses and find a way of addressing this matter. The first thing is, during the election of this very year, that is 2026, Oyam district, a bigger population of voters in the districts, youth were the majority, and indeed they did a credible job to ensure that the results, that is through voting, casting their votes from Oyam district, should reach to the expectation that the government should also look at the young people of Oyam as the first priority. In case of any development, the young people of Oyam must also be given a priority. I want to tell the nation, the Oyam district and Uganda as a whole, that Oyam is the second largest district in the country. And through this information, I feel like it is good for the district out of Oyam, out of Lango, out of even the northern Uganda, to be aware of what is happening in Oyam. And we see the best way of how to handle this matter so that we remain peaceful, so that we remain united. I want to just go in summary, and I tell the nation that Oyam district, of which is in the northern part of Uganda, in the sub-region of Lango, is really suffering for quite a long period of time. But as youth of Oyam, today as we address the nation, as we address the people of the northern Uganda and the Lango, we have a very strong point by saying enough is enough to the following that I'm going to mention. One, during the presidential election and the directly elected member of parliament and the woman member of parliament, that is for our district Oyam, many of our youth, as it was stated, they were given some opportunity to also do some one or two things. One being a polling, being a presiding officer, being a polling assistant and a presidential agent. But in most cases, as the chairperson of the young people, I feel that it is very good to deploy the youth. After deploying them, you should hand over what belongs to them. I got report from almost all sub-counties in Oyam, that is the 16 sub-counties, that my youth performed well amidst all challenges during their time. But at the end of the day, when they were submitting the results, there are issues that came up. One, some of the facilitation that were meant for the youth did not reach accordingly, and the way they were really told that at the end of the day they would get this kind of facilitation. And then two, what annoyed me most is that in some other sub-counties, my youth were beaten. Besides being even being even an agent, that you are looking for a way of rescuing the district, you are looking for the way of ensuring that Oyam district has produced the best quality leaders. And I was very shocked to learn into the information with the evidence that we have one of our director, that is the Director of Finance at the National Office of the Electoral Commission, by the name Cipriano Guang, who really tried to do one or two things that hindered the smooth process of election in Oyam. And it is not a surprise, because for the last 15 years, the issue of the disturbance during the process of election has been happening in Oyam. This year, as the young people of Oyam, we
thought of it twice that it is better we come up. We see how and why every year people are complaining that the process of election is not moving smoothly. I want to state it clearly that we, the young people of Oyam, first of all, even the percentage of the votes that we were expecting for the president did not reach. As young people of Oyam, we needed our president since he has served the country, he has really delivered us, he has really given us peace, mostly in the northern part of Uganda. We expected the percentage even to be 99 plus, or at least we reach a 95. I don't feel good when other districts, they have really challenged the Oyam district, but we have the reasons. First of all, I told you that I'm not the chairperson of a certain party, but some parties who really in their offices, they participated in disorganizing this process of election. I want to be very straightforward that even the party that our president comes from, that is the NRM party, there are some of the district leaders, this is from the top positions, who at least they have done something that physically we have seen. And I'm calling upon the team from the secretariat who are in charge of ensuring that all the party offices in each and every district run smoothly to come and investigate. We need a very serious audit in Oyam district, and of which if they fail to do it, it means there is a team at the national level or even at the district who are also participating in this game. And for that matter, we as youth of Oyam, we are giving 5 days from today that in case the national office or people who are in charge of this activity failed to come up with a clear explanation, a very clear audit, we are going to have a very peaceful demonstration until the nation gets to know that the youth of Oyam needs transparency in all areas. I want to also state it clearly that in the part of ONC, 98% of people who were deployed in each and every polling stations actually ensuring that the election moves smoothly were the youth. But these youth are affected. How are we going to handle this? We have a suggestion as a youth that those ones who were not facilitated, but they have done the work, must be facilitated with immediate effect. And I'm also saying that those ones who participated in the election and they were intimidated, I want to report it that the document will be presented to the source that I know that really is for the people of Oyam, not these people who are coming, they take over and they go and hide. I want to also tackle some part because our health, our well-being in the district lies in the hands of the security. We are asking ourselves, when some of the youth were intimidated, for instance in Aleka, in Otwal, where were the security? We need an explanation over this. Because that day I managed to sit in one of the meetings for Electoral Commission, which was a regional meeting in Lira. And they stated clearly that the DPCs, the RDCs, they will be in charge, ensuring that all elections during the process from the word go move smoothly. But I'm surprised that some of the polling stations on that very day, they were locked and people were not deployed. What were our security doing? For me, as a district chairperson of Oyam, for today, I'm just giving a summary of the statement of something that really has touched me as a chairperson of the young people, that within these 5 days that I've given, I'm representing the voice of the young people of Oyam. Without any action being taken, or without us hearing that this issue has been handled over, actually has been smashed over and everything is okay, those ones who participated in disorganizing our process of election, we need them to be presented. Even right now, I have youth from almost all the sub-counties. They are even telling me that if we can push this information, their voices reaches to Muse, they need Oyam votes that were casted to be recounted. That is the information I've got from even the member of parliament for Oyam North, the woman member of parliament. Even as youth, we are annoyed because we had planned that the Oyam district must be taken over by the ruling party. We don't love being under independent, we don't love being under oppositions, because we believe that when your district must develop, you must at least work with the government. So we want these leaders from the NRM and even the security, even people who aided part of the ONC, they must come out and explain why things happen like this that the youth manage to present. If they're trying to hurt you, we have some of the information that we have kept for the future use, and the future begins even the next hour from now, so that we should be able to clean Oyam. We as youth, we are aware that tomorrow we may be the next chairman of the district, but we need a very smart work within our district. I said this for God and my country. Thank you so much.
Just staying with you a little bit, are you saying the president's vote?
Now, to me, as the district chairperson of representing the young people of Oyam, we are aware that our president and all the votes that were casted were counted. We are aware that the votes that were casted and counted for the directly elected member of parliament were also counted. We are aware that the women member of parliament representing the Oyam district, their votes were also casted and counted. But we are not believing in what the Electoral Commission has brought out, due to the games that kept on moving during the day, during the process of the election. And therefore, I declare that in case there is a provision and our voices can be heard, even from the presidential election, their votes and the one for the North, the one for the woman member of parliament must be counted. To the people outside Oyam, they believe that Oyam did well. But we have our expectation. We had our expectation. And that expectation, we know the reason as to why. That expectation from the young people, even not only the young people, did not meet to the expectation. And of which this kind of request, we are making it under a certain very clear ground that we request our voices should be taken, not for granted.
What percentage did the young get and what percentage were you expecting?
I stated it clearly that we are expecting 95%. That is as the youth of Oyam district. I was talking to one of the ONC coordinator who presented the results, because from that day I've been moving all over Oyam to collect information basing on this. And she told me, this is the information that I have some in my document, that the president got 85%, but for us we were expecting 95%. We have series of games that happen in Aleka sub-county and in Otwal sub-county. A very quick one is that Mr. Gwang Cipriano even tried to block the security who were trying to rush to Aleka to rescue the station which was going on there. And for evidence, we have some of the video clips and the information that came out over that. Very true, very true. NRM leaders of Oyam, they participated and they were working hand in hand together with the security to disorganize the process of the elections in Oyam. And secondly, even the national director for finance at the office of the Electoral Commission also came and participated in Oyam. We wanted to know, was he part of the team to operate in Oyam that day as the young people of Oyam?
Okay, looking at some of the agents not being paid, some are paid halfway. How do you see the future of NRM in Oyam?
Through this process that we have already started, I believe that the NRM of today and tomorrow, because we have already started this process, will be a wonderful NRM party. And I still believe that through the action that we have taken, we are not fighting anyone, we are not fighting any department, but we need Oyam to be clean, we need Oyam to be working on a better ground that will lead the youth, because tomorrow you never know. The office where someone is, someone from the youth sector will come there. Now, I believe that NRM is not a bad party. NRM is a very good party. But we have people who work within the NRM who are trying to spoil the name of the NRM. Even the president himself, sometimes you hear people saying President Museveni is bad. I want to say President Museveni is not bad. He's a very good father. He has led the country without any other issue. I still believe that he will still lead the country. But there are people who are even so close to him who are trying to spoil the name. And indeed, that thing can only proceed when there is nothing like any action being taken.
Okay, thank you so much. A very good evening to every viewers outside there. My name is Achu Robina. I'm an NRM cadre from Oyam district. The position of leadership I had is Wonsa department, Wonsa representative, Oyam district, and also at the sub-county of Loro. I'm a female youth councillor. Before I start to respond to that question you've asked me, allow me to appreciate and congratulate all the NRM members who really participated in this election that has just passed. And I thank all of them who made it to Parliament. And also those who did not make it, I thank you so much. Above all, I would like to thank our lovely father, His Excellency, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for all the support he delivered to us during the time of election. Though the channel he used did not favor the youth so much. As in my district, Oyam, we realized 2 or 3 things that really made election did not go on well. First and foremost, the way the financial was handled wasn't in the right way. The cash flow from the national to the grassroots wasn't very clear. Actually, most of our youth were employed in running up or supporting in different areas in the election. They did not get their payment well. Some got halfway, others did not get. Yet these are the very people whom they called them, they trained them, and they promised them their payment in the right time. And these people delivered, but in turn they were not paid. And this one pained me so much as a youth, because if it's not addressed in the next 5 years ahead of us, the future of NRM in Oyam district is not promising, because most of the people in Oyam, I could say 80% are youth, and they are promising youth. They are youth growing up in leadership. When they see such a thing going on and is not addressed, meaning that their career or their skill in leadership is being stepped down, is being mocked, it's not being considered, we would request people above us, especially Musei and the team, to really do serious accountability in Oyam as far as finance is concerned. Yes, I could say this. This started with special interest group election. The money were given out as per the guideline, and the guideline was shared to us, but these people did not receive their payment as per the guideline. We were wondering as leaders, where could have this money gone, and which channel have they used to give these people their money that they didn't receive in the right time, and they did not receive the full amount they were supposed to receive. Not only in that department, Oyam generally, there's a lot of corruption and embezzlement. If you come to the Department of Job, we have very many youths who have studied with good degrees, with good papers, PhDs. But these are people whom, when they go to the district, seeking for opportunity there, and they are part of NRM cadres. There are people in NRM, there are people whom we say they are in the government side. When they go there, you find that they ask them even for money to bribe the job. These people sometimes give even money, but you find at the end of everything, these people are not offered opportunity. Yet they have passed interviews, they have done all what it takes, they have qualification, but they are not considered. So if this is not addressed, as a youth who is seeing future, I see NRM is bound to fail in Oyam. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching Lyra Scoop. We are glad you are here.